coming back to this, do you think the Bears are contenders? I'm going to ask you, do you think the Bears can win big games in January with Caleb Williams as a role player, Q? Because that may be disrespectful to say for a number one pick, a guy who's thought of as highly as Caleb Williams. But to be honest, and we've said it a couple of times on this podcast, he's been bringing up the rear. Ben Johnson said it in the press conference the other day. They're winning in spite of the passing game, and he cleaned it up today. He said, "I'm not just talking about the quarterback; the entire passing game, him included, needs to be better."
I was gonna say, me and you have been watching this thing all year, and this is not all on Caleb. And I know Tiff would be here, and she would be throwing a fit.
You're full of shit.
I don't know if it's reached the level of concern yet, Q, but do you think that this is an issue? This is going to be one of the things that hold the Bears back from going on a run this year.
I do think the completion percentage and the efficiency has to increase. The things that I'm concerned about with Caleb are the deep ball accuracy. I feel like I think some of the misses have been amplified because I watch as much football as I can every weekend. If I can't watch the games live, I record them and rewatch them. Guys miss open receivers. It happens. I think there's a lot of angst in Chicago with Caleb Williams being number one pick, with the Bears penchant for ruining quarterbacks, with the Bears penchant for not developing quarterbacks, with the Bears penchant for not having quarterbacks, period. So I think we need to slow down and enjoy the process of what we're seeing, because I do think we're seeing the development of a special quarterback, of a really good quarterback. I think there are things to clean up, but I have confidence that they will clean up. And I know the numbers aren't quite suggesting it, but the game against Pittsburgh, it wasn't pretty. But other than a TJ Watt gaffe where I thought he should have got rid of the ball, he played a much better game than the numbers indicated. I thought against the Eagles, again, wasn't pretty, but he played a much better game than what the numbers suggested. I want to remind people that when Philly is playing good football, Philly can make some really good quarterbacks look very ordinary. For example, Jordan Love couldn't get anything done against Philly. Nothing.
Wait, we're not calling Jordan Love a good quarterback though, right?
No, he's a cheesehead. Okay. So whatever that is. Jared Goff couldn't get anything going against Philly. Mahomes, 2 meetings with Philly in this calendar year of 2025, has not had much success against Philly. So I think sometimes we look at Caleb and we're judging by the stats solely, and the stats aren't bad, but I think we're missing one of the more key developments of Caleb Williams, and that is being able to run an offense. I think the biggest difference between this year and last year is the understanding of quarterback play at a cerebral level, the nuances, the things to do pre-snap, the things to do post-snap, the times to leave it alone. There are way less negative plays. I think he's taken 15 sacks this year, 16 sacks. And I know that's not showing up in the box score, but this is one of the reasons why we're able to be a top 5 scoring offense. The quarterback just avoiding negative plays, avoiding turnovers, avoiding interceptions and strip sacks. So I think, we need a little bit more efficient play out of Caleb, but I think it's coming, and I think I'm not concerned with him in making a run. So I actually think the best Caleb Williams football is yet to be played. I think he's going to get stronger as we go down the stretch.
I hope so, because I actually am worried about that. In this 40th anniversary of the 1985 Bears.
Is this number 40?
This is number 40.
This is 40.
20th anniversary of the 2025 Bears? Because they played in the Super Bowl in 06, right? Or was that beginning of 07?
07. So this is the 19-year anniversary of that. Almost close. But I see where you're going. I'm looking at the stars, and they align it. Out every 20 years, the Bears end up in that Super Bowl.
Every generation gets their one.
Count.
This could be we might be one of the lucky ones that actually lived through 3. One of the sour spots, and I don't know if you got to see that Super Bowl Shuffle documentary yet. But one of the sour spots of the 1985 Bears is that Walter Payton didn't get a chance to get a touchdown in that Super Bowl. It would be, I would love to see the Bears go ahead and, get on top of the mountain and, be crowned the champions of the NFL. But if they got to drag Caleb all the way there, it's not going to be as fulfilling as it should be because one, the kid's got a lot of pressure on him. For two, people were writing him off before he even took a snap in the league, just for for reasons nothing having to do with the football.
Nothing on the football field.
You remember how this season started? Not necessarily the actual season, but going into the offseason, going into camp. It was all that noise about him and his dad trying to get out of coming to Chicago and all that stuff. Now you fast forward to what it is now, you got this issues. Now you're right. A lot of national media isn't harping on the issues with Caleb as of yet because they see the wins and that's being pushed to the backside. And he is playing a lot better from a quarterback
Which is
perspective.
interesting. And I want to stop you real quick before you get into your next point. How much team wins and losses, that success, do you attribute to the quarterback? Because Caleb Williams' numbers are not much different than last year. Now, I already went into it. There are some nuances that he understands, but the numbers aren't that much different. In fact, the completion percentage has taken a step backwards, and he's probably on pace to throw one more pick than he did all of last year. How much does the quarterback, because we've gotten to an era where I feel like, I don't know, the wins and losses that a quarterback has are kind of inflated.
Mm.
Or,
For one thing,
or attributing the wins and losses to the quarterback is kind of inflated.
one thing you said is that he's playing better quarterback, and I think everyone agrees with that. Remember that how we lost that game on Thanksgiving last year? We blame Eberflus.
He
Some
could have
of
called a
that,
timeout.
yes,
He
some
could
of
have
that comes
spiked
to
the
Caleb
ball.
as
There were
well.
things he could have did.
I think you agree with me. We don't think Caleb today would have that same issue now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just more comfortable in the clutch. He just understands the offense and he understands time, situation, and he understands football more today than he did now. He is 1,000% a better quarterback today, but it's not showing up in all the ways yet. There's plenty of time for that to click. Jared Goff wasn't the best quarterback that he could have been for the Lions for Ben Johnson's offense in year one himself, even as more of a
A
veteran
veteran number one pick.
another number one pick, another veteran, another one pick that had already been to a Super Bowl. So
He been to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
Been on deep
so
NFC playoff runs.
he was a lot more seasoned when he got to Ben Johnson's offense, and he wasn't perfect for the offense in year one, and Caleb has a lot more growing, a lot more learning to do in his maturation process of being an NFL quarterback too. So I don't necessarily think it has to all show now, but NFL is a tricky business. You have to strike while the iron's hot because next, shout out to the Minnesota Vikings, it may not be there for you next year, right? I kind of do need him to not be the guy that holds us back. Because can you imagine if we lose a game and he's missing wide open players and he's having one of those a good game, 223 yards, 53% completion, a touchdown, and we end up losing. Can you imagine the conversation in the offseason if that's the case? I don't want
There's
to
going to
imagine that.
be. Well, the thing I love about Bears and revisionist history is one thing the Bears always second guess, Bears fans, is
Mm-hmm.
the quarterback play. 20 years later, everybody's saying Kyle Orton should have played in the Super Bowl. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that version of Kyle Orton was not playing very good football. There's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why they rushed Rex Grossman back in 2005 to replace Kyle Orton. Now, could Kyle Orton won that Super Bowl? Maybe. I think the Bears would have won the Super Bowl if Mike Brown was healthy and Tommy Harris was healthy. So I'm sure you're going to have fans if Caleb lays a stinker in the playoffs. There's going to be the Tyson Bagent boys coming out of the woodwork. They're in there. They're laying low, but they're still there. But I want to pose to you another concept. The Bears have 9 wins this year. How many of those 9 wins came courtesy of game-winning drives by Caleb?
I think they have 5 game-winning drives this year, right? And
Yeah.
all but one I would actually give to Caleb.
So I think you can alleviate some concern by just knowing that Caleb has showed up all year in the clutch. I don't think is there a game where you feel like he lost it in the clutch that you could say, "Hey, this one is on you." Of the 3
I
losses.
can't imagine what that feels like because he's never done in his year and some change as being a professional quarterback. He's never lost a game. Well, again, Thanksgiving last year. I mean, we blame Eberflus, but Caleb could have done some other things too. But I don't
But if
think.
you're the head coach, how are you standing on the sideline not using your timeout?
How does Eberflus do any of the things he did? Not to do anything because they're doing big things in Dallas right now. Shout out to Eberflus and getting that thing together.
Hey, look, listen, yeah, he's doing what he does best, being a defensive coordinator,
Yeah,
which
make sure you
he always
never
should have been.
do anything other than that. Stay a defensive coordinator.
Or linebackers coach. He coaches
Mhm.
linebackers well too. I'll give him that.
Other than that Thanksgiving debacle last year, I can't. I don't- Caleb has never lost a game in the clutch. He's always showed up when in winning time. I can't. I don't even know what that would look like. You know, I'm happy. I'm happy that we do have a quarterback that I do feel comfortable and confident in when it's time to win a game. When it's nut up or shut up time, I feel like we got the best quarterback for the job at that point. Quarterback numbers. Those things you mentioned, his numbers aren't impressive. He right now 122 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, has a quarterback rating of 88. Coming into the season, Ben Johnson and Caleb, they came out and said their goals for the season was 4,000 yards, 70% completion. We talked about the completion. It's not going to happen unless he's perfect. Couple of games coming up soon. It ain't going to
He'd
happen.
have
It ain't
to
going to get
have
close.
the 5 most accurate games I think we've seen from a quarterback in NFL history.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd have to probably throw the ball 35 times a game to get enough attempts to overcome that. What is he currently at? 58%? 59?
Right now, he is at 58.1% on the season.
Yikes. Let's just get to 62%.
I think last year he was at 63, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, it's god awful. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about the 4,000 yards. The Bears have never had a 4,000-yard quarterback in their entire franchise history. God awful. Yes, I know the Bears are still in the dark ages when it comes to quarterbacks, but hopefully Caleb, fingers crossed, he is going to get us into the promised land. Q, math here. Within the last 5 games of the season, quarterback one, Caleb Williams, would need to average 255 yards per game to get to 4,000. Your level of confidence in him being able to do that, scale of 1 to 5.
A 2.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it's not that I don't think Caleb could average 255 yards per game. I don't think it's a necessity, but the way the run game is working. And with the way the run game is working, I'm pounding the ball down everyone's throat, pause or no pause, no Diddy, big Diddy. I'm pounding the ball down people's throats, big Diddy style, no baby oil. So, I mean, I haven't seen the running game stop right now. So, why would I become pass heavy? Especially we're in December. We're gonna have how many more games are left at Soldier Field? You got one left in Green Bay. You got
Cleveland.
one left. You
Cleveland,
got
Detroit. That's 3 games.
so you got 4 games that's gonna be in probably nasty weather.
Mhm.
I'm running the ball, so I don't think the story of our success has to be tied with Caleb getting to 4,000 yards. Um, and I think there's gonna be games like Uh, first of all, I think the Bears are not done making statements. I think Green Bay's in for a surprise. I know you Cheesehead fans are really excited and you're salivating and you think, yeah, the Bears and there's first place, number 1 seed in our sights. Um, it's not going to be sweet. y'all are going to play a team that you all have not excelled against this season. I've seen physical teams give the Packers lots of fits this year. Panthers, Eagles, and Browns. You're going to get a heavy dosage of that. In fact, you're going to see maybe the best offense, and I know that sounds crazy. You might see the best offensive line play that you've seen this season. I know the Packers have seen the Eagles, but the way the Bears are playing way the Bears offensive line is playing right now, it might be operating better than what the Eagles is. And the Eagles they've been a little beat up. So, um, but back to the Caleb, no, I think he falls a little short of 4,000 yards, and I'm okay with that. We've got bigger goals now.
I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I need to ask it anyway, just for anybody that's watching and that didn't get the hint earlier. Caleb is right now has 58% completion on the season. In your opinion, he's going to come short of the 4,000 yard
Yeah, I
goal.
think so.
So was this a successful season for Caleb as a quarterback?
When Caleb Williams came to the Bears, the thing he said is he's not so much concerned with stats. He's concerned with winning. He wants to leave a legacy of winning. And the Bears are 9-3 in the first seat. Yeah, I think this is a successful season for Caleb Williams. I think what the Bears have done, what Caleb has done, is they've established a culture of winning, a culture of getting it done. Uh, they've been good in the last few minutes. Caleb has been good in the last few minutes of games, in the clutch, in the crunch time. So as of right now, yes, I would say this is a successful season for Caleb because what made it unsuccessful last year? The losses. So I mean, I've seen national pundits, national media, uh, give a lot of credit to Caleb Williams. I looked at something on I can't even remember the site to shout them out, but they had him of the 32 starting quarterbacks. He was number 13 this week, and he was in the top 10 last week of quarterback power rankings. And a lot of it was tied to the team's success. So I think this is a successful year for Caleb Williams.
What we said earlier about him just being growing in the leader portion of the job for being a quarterback. If you just take that and the wins that come out of that manifests out of that, success. We can love individual players, but we're here for the squad. And the squad right now is number one team in the conference, and we hoping for some big things coming through. If Caleb has to be along for the ride and not actually driving the bus, it is what it is. One day he'll be promoted to driving the bus. But right now, we trying to do some bear down. Last thing, let's get up out of here because North Carolina is playing.
Shout out UNC.
Yeah, shout out UNC. Another Caleb. Yeah, Caleb Wilson. I got Caleb's in my life right now, and I'm loving it.
Caleb Wilson's going to be a really good basketball player at the next level.
Caleb Wilson, a dog.
Future Bull, C-Red.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say three things. Bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.